Hi there, today is Sunday the 7th of August, and I've been going through some old magazines that I found that I need to check out because I need to throw them away. These are some T3 magazines from 2003 and it's been interesting going through them to see just how technology has changed since then in the past 7 years. 8 years now, nearly. No, 7 years. So let's stick with 7, shall we? We got excited with the pocket cameras, like for example that Sony Cyber shot there, jaw-dropping 5 megapixel CCD. So this was just after digital cameras were sold and would cost about £100 per million pixels. So 5 megapixel camera, £500 price tag. Pretty much the case. Workrest and PDA. Dell had a pocket PC. Look at that. The curious thing about the cameras particularly is how the count in megapixels seems to be still going on even now, because by then 5 megapixel camera could give you a very good picture. The digital SLRs were 6 megapixels. What camera manufacturers seem to be telling us, and indeed some salespeople are telling us, that the more pixels you have, the better the camera is. And this is not necessarily true. In fact, I know it's not true. But I've had cameras with everywhere from 3 million pixels up to the most pixels my camera I've got now is 14 million pixels. And the camera that takes the best pictures is the SLR with 8 million pixels. But that's because it's got a big sensor, not because it's got a lot of pixels. The camera that's got 14 million pixels is a compact. Now it can take very nice pictures, but for the best quality, it's always better to get out the SLR. Here it is, and yeah, highest quality pictures, get a big camera with a big sensor, or get a smaller camera with a very good quality sensor. Anywho, what else do we have in here? Bicycle here. No idea what this is about. Something that has always amused me about a lot of tech magazines like this, particularly T3 magazine, is that. There's another one, it's a blonde one again. Brunette. Asian. Years ago, when I still lived in Bradford, I was looking at one of these, and a friend of mine, who was a girl, was on a train with me, asked me why do they always have a very pretty, nearly half-naked girl on the cover. Actually, she's wearing a dress, but and that's a question I could not answer. I just assumed the makers, I just assume that the publishers of this magazine, future publisher, assume that the main readership of a technology magazine is going to be men, heterosexual young men. And what do heterosexual men like? Pretty women. So put a pretty girl on the front. There you go. It's the fact that a piece of technology will do pretty much the same trick to most of the people who buy the magazine seems to have totally missed them. So they put a piece of technology in the pretty girl's hand. It's a camera in this case. Actually, I've got a camera very similar to that one actually. Yeah. Anywho. So there you go, if you can answer that question without getting too excited, why do we need a pretty girl on the cover? I do believe they still do it, you know. 6 years later, 7 years later, T3 magazine still has a very pretty girl on the cover. Xbox movie. So that's something I'd be interested to know. Your views on why they need a very pretty girl on the cover. There's another one. Eyeball. Little dog. That's gonna help you. Yeah. This is a pink. Obviously if they're aiming it at I want to. Does it Angelina Jolie look like? The Christmas DC. Is that Angelina Jolie? Oh, let's have a look. Yeah. The only thing missing, Angelina Jolie. You'll need to go to Heat magazine for her. Yeah, page 36. This is why they have pretty women on the cover, because men will buy them. Okay. Yeah, 36. Ready to control cars. Not Angelina. Anyway. What did it say about the ready to control cars anyway? Because I think that one, that Subaru, I had something very similar. I gave one to my nephew last month for his birthday. There's another thing in here. Find the magazine. Oh, where are you? Picture of the Hasselblad in here. There's going to be a lot of editing in this thing. Portable media, looking forward to. Best thing so far, Apple iPod, 40GB capacity. Can't wait for Sony Gigapocket PCVA-VP20. Yeah, that's a memorable name. So those there. The Sony looks very nice. Apparently can play video as well as audio. And there's a 20GB hard drive. This is an interesting one. The Freecom USB card, 128MB for £90. USB memory key these days. Basically, it's a USB dongle, a USB drive in the shape of a credit card, and it holds a massive 128MB. You can't buy those these days, can you? You can't buy anything smaller than 1GB now. Yeah, and you'd be, if you're spending more than £15 on it, you're being ripped off. That's enough for me today. Before I go, here's today's mug of the day. Mug of the day! So today's mug of the day is a Scary Bitches mug. And it says on there, Scary Bitch. As you can see there. Isn't it lovely? A nice glossy black mug with the same Scary Bitch. And at the bottom there you can just see that www.scarybitches.com. So go to the website and buy their record. Scary Bitches are a band that I saw at the 1 in 12 club when they used to host a goth night run by Carpe Noctem, and it was great fun if you liked gothic music, the goth disco, and often there'd be a goth type band playing, including Scary Bitches. Who else? I've got their album right here, in fact. The album is called Lesbian Vampires from Outer Space, which features the song Lesbian Vampires from Outer Space, Werewolf, there's a lycanthrope on the bus, Strange Child, Necrophancy, there's another one, and one of my favourite tunes, You Will End Up Looking Like the Scary Bitches. I must confess, listening to the words of that song, I know a few women who could have been written about. And who can forget the most memorable Piss All Over Your Grave. Yeah. So today's mug of the day, Scary Bitches.
Sing and piss all over your grave.